Hey, all right, everybody, how's it going? Now, I got in front of me by here the SMMT data, the figures for January, and the EV sales, and all car sales in the UK. Now, hold on to your cornflakes if you're an anti-EV type person, because you're not going to like it, and all the things that you anti-EV people said in 2024 has turned out to be a load of old ghoulies. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's have a look what it's all about and see what's going on with the data. So, let's start with BEVs, because this is the big news for January 2025. BEVs are up from January 2024, 41.6%. So they haven't gone down. So let me just explain what I meant by the anti-EV people are wrong. So, what they stated, quite a few of these people have stated that soon as January 2025 comes, BEV sales are going to shoot down and petrol sales and diesel sales will go up because dealers have been hiding all their petrol and diesel cars, keeping them back until January 2025, and they've been pre-registering all the BEVs before that just to meet the ZEV mandate in the UK. That's what they were all saying. They were all saying that. But looking at the SMT data, they're all wrong, because we got BEVs up 41.6%, we've got diesel down 7.7%, and we got petrol down, and I am quite surprised at this, petrol is down 15.3%. Now, if you don't like EVs and you like moving the goalposts, now's your time to move the goalposts and try and explain the situation by here, because I'm sure they'll have some sort of notion of why this has happened. They'll go, well, it might happen in February or March, it might happen the month after. They'll have something to say. So, what does that mean for all the figures? Well, petrol and diesel, pure petrol and diesel sales were down for January 2025. BEVs were up a massive 41.6%. FEVs were up 5.5%, and HEVs were up 2.9%. Now, in the middle of the year, sometime last year, there was some sort of news article, and all the people were going that HEVs and FEVs are accelerating and BEVs are not. But looking at the numbers here, 29,634 new registrations for BEVs in January 2025. FEVs 12,598, HEVs 18,413. So you can see the BEVs are clearly, outselling FEVs and HEVs. Actually, if you combined HEVs and FEVs together, it's roughly about the same. If you did combine them together, if you like doing that sort of thing. Now, petrol sales are still 70,000, but it was 82,000 last year. So they're dropping and dropping. So the market share last year for petrol in 2025 was 57.9%. That's dropped down to 50.3%. Now, year to date, because we're in January, year to date is going to be exactly the same as January 2025, because we're in the first month, so the figures are exactly the same. But we can see that BEVs have kicked off the new year quite strong, and so the market share so far is 21.3%. Now, wait a minute, my dog wants to come in, so let me just go and let my dog in. Right, where was I? So, BEVs at 21.3%. They're supposed to be 28% this year, but we know that 28% is a bit, it doesn't have to be exactly 28% for them to hit their targets, because there's other ways for them to hit their targets with low emissions cars and buying credits and so forth, because they didn't quite hit the 22% target last year, but they all met the quota, if you know what I mean. If you've seen articles in the news, it says they've all hit there. Nobody's got fined, apparently, which is a bit strange. But it's going to be 28% this year, and BEVs have kicked off. Now, like I said, all the anti-EV people said that the dealers were holding back petrol cars. Holding back petrol cars. That was supposed to be Simply Red. Didn't quite work out then. They were holding them back, but they're still down. They've gone down. No, I know. Anti-EV people are going to say, you can't buy as many petrol cars anymore. That's true. But you also said that they were holding them back. So you're saying two different things. You're saying that they haven't got as many petrol cars. Then you're saying, but they're holding them back, so the sales are going to go up. But they haven't. They've gone down. So total sales altogether for all the cars lumped together are down 2.5%. But the growth is coming mainly from BEVs, FEVs a little bit, and HEVs a little bit. So that's where the growth is coming from. Now diesel, I've talked about diesel quite a lot in the past, and I've said that diesel's only got a few years left, in my opinion, before it's completely gone. Because it's now, the market share is now 6.2%, so it's getting lower and lower. I mean, how many was sold? 8,625 diesels sold in January. So you can see it's relatively small numbers. It's the smallest number on the chart. And I have heard, I say rumours, not rumours, but I have heard that second-hand diesel prices are going up. And I said that before in another video as well. And I've said it to a few people who do like diesel cars. Because there's not many new diesel cars being sold, the second-hand market isn't saturated with diesel cars. It's actually not that many. So usually prices will go up. When there's oversaturation, prices come down. When there's undersaturation, prices go up. So it's not good news for diesel owners. It's not very good news, because second-hand prices are going to go up. There's not going to be many new second-hand diesel cars. Your choice is going to be going lower and lower. And if diesels become quite a small market, the prices to fix them is going to go up, because the price of parts will go up as well. I'm just saying, that's the way it works. If BEV sales accelerate and they sell a lot of a certain model, then the prices of parts come down. That's just the way it works. So, is there anything else to say on here? We could look at let's have a look at the by brand. Now, you'd think that that big number in January, you'd think, oh, Tesla, it was Tesla that pushed our number up. It's not the case. It's not the case, because we know that Elon Musk has become very, very marmitey. He was already marmitey, but he's like concentrated marmite now, if you know what I mean. And if you go down to Tesla, down here at the bottom, Tesla delivered 1,458 electric cars in January, and that's down 7.78%. Now that could also be people ordering the new Model Y, but I feel that less people are going to be buying Tesla cars. It's going to come up, not everybody. Some people are going to go, Elon Musk, Tesla, deal me out. I'm not in anymore, because we all knew he was a little bit way, but now he's like, whoa-ho. So, what else? BYD. Now, that BYD does sell hybrids as well, but they delivered, actually, let me just go down there again. Tesla was 1,458. BYD, and I'm not sure if this is the first time this has happened, BYD, in the UK I mean, BYD sold 1,614 vehicles. Now I know it's hybrids mixed in with BEVs, but they're up 550%. So you can see the BYD figures are coming up. They are coming up. There's another Genesis. Now Genesis, I've seen in the news, they're going all in on EVs. They're not going to make any more petrol or diesel or whatever cars they make, but Genesis is going to be pure EV. They just mentioned that recently, I think, if I'm correct. Genesis is a nice car, but they're expensive. And because I was looking on Copart at damaged cars, and there was a Genesis on there, and the price of it. Now, it's another thing. Anti-EV people say nobody's going. Who's buying second-hand EVs? Lots of people, and they're throwaway items. And I'm going to say this again. If you're an anti-EV person, you're talking a load of ghoulies, because you can go on Copart yourself and have a look, okay? But the sale price only shoots up. Is auctions right at the end. The prices shoot up. But when I went and looked at the Genesis, which was damaged, it was damaged in the front and the back. It was up to something like £9,500, and that was a couple of days of the auction left. So that would have sold for a lot more, plus fees. You're talking thousands of pounds. But these anti-EV people say they're throwaway items. They're not throwaway items. There's a value on electric cars. There's another. I did notice there's another car seller. I think it's a Chinese brand. Omoda, is that how you say it? Omoda. Now they sell a petrol car and a BEV. Now they sold 593 cars in January. Now I don't know how many of them are BEVs and how many of them are petrols, or is it a hybrid? I'm not quite sure. But they're new to the market, I believe. Polestar sold 746 cars, and they're up 216%. So there we go. I don't think there's anything else to note there at the moment. But there you go. EV sales in January 2025 in the UK are up. Not down and out, they're up. Petrol sales are down and diesel sales are down, which is the total opposite of what the anti-EV clan was telling themselves and everybody else on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. That's what they would, because nothing is based on datas and facts with these anti-EV lot. It's not based on that. It's just based on their emotions in their head. It's what they want to happen. And what you want to happen and what actually happens are two different things. So, you've got to use logic. Using logic will help you out. So, I expect, I do have a few anti-EV types are subscribed to my channel, and usually when I do a video where the sales are up, a couple of I get like a few subscribers all disappear all of a sudden, which means that was the anti-EV type sort of hanging on, trying to go in the comment section and say, EVs are not the future, the McMaster told me. Ooh. I was watching a video with the McMaster. I know I'm waffling on now. He did a video yesterday, and he's got two people on mobility to come and say what they think about electric vehicles and charging. And he was trying to say, he sort of pushed the notion at the beginning. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. Maybe. Because I got a few ideas on that video. Positive ideas. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But anyway, that's the news. Sales are up for BEVs by quite a lot. So there we go. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!